Everybody, welcome to Talking Real Estate with Champions Real Estate Team here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate Company. Every Wednesday we jump on here, go over what's gone on in the real estate market over the last week, and talk to Russ Williams here at Williams Mortgage about what's going on in the interest rate in the mortgage world. But like I said, my name is Mark Wehner, Champions Real Estate Team. Every week we try to start out with a quick tip. So our quick tip this week is jumping onto our championsrealestateteam.com website. I'll share that screen here with you in just a second as we pull it up. There it is. So as we jump on here, the reason why I say that is because on here on the right-hand side, and I'll click it up as it pulls up, is our home buyer's guide and home seller guide. So I know this time of year is a lot of times when people start thinking about, buying and selling houses, we're going to wait till next spring and all that kind of fun stuff. We'll talk about good reasons and bad reasons to wait till spring, which we kind of talk about every week. But you can jump over here on the sidebar and download it. Goes over to our Google Docs and it pulls up basically our home buyer guide. So it kind of goes over everything that we feel is very important in buying a house. So it's free. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to log in. You don't have to do anything like that. If you want to get accurate information though, registering on there, we're not, our team here, we're not going to blow up your phones and call you 5 times a day, every minute of the day until you give us an answer. We just want to provide the information to you and good, accurate homes that are on the website. So you see table of contents here. So steps of buying home process, reasons to own a home. This home buyer evaluation checklist is a great tool here. On page 6, I teach a 3-hour continuing education course just on that checklist alone. So I can talk 3 hours about it. So there's a lot of important information on there, just the things to take a look at. But I'm not going to go over the entire checklist here, but I just want to let you guys know where to find it. And like I said, you can click here, obviously, on the home seller guide, kind of basically, obviously, the flip side of what's going on when you're buying and selling a house as it pulls up here. So table of contents, kind of steps of the home buying process, getting your house ready, pricing it, all those things are taken into consideration. But it's on there free for you guys to your viewing pleasure, right? But like I said, the website here, you kind of do advanced searches, map searches, home valuations. That's just kind of the algorithm. It's not 100% accurate of what the home value is going to be. That's something that we can do here at Champions Real Estate Team, get a good idea for you. But yeah, and then they have the mortgage calculator. I think we've done a quick tip on this before. That's just your principal and interest. So you got to take into account what the taxes are and what the homeowner's insurance are on that thing. So talking to Russ, that's a great resource for him to kind of give you a good idea of what that estimated monthly payment. So just think that monthly payment is just your principal and interest. You need to add taxes. So if you look on the county assessor, see that tax value, divide it by 12, add that to that number, and then your homeowner's insurance, divide that by 12, add that to the number. That's going to give you a cumulative monthly payment. So that's my quick tip there for that. I hope that was quick enough. Try not to get too wordy on there. But yeah, so let's jump into what the real estate market's doing over the last 7 days. So we've seen a lot of inventory come on over the last 7 days compared to the previous months or previous weeks. We have 633 new listings over the last 12 days, last 7 days. Man, having a newborn at home, your brain kind of gets fried. So sorry about that. But so we had 633 new listings. So 2 weeks ago, we only had 450 new listings. Our sold homes and new contracts written are similar. Last week we had 330. We're at 363, 433. So basically what I'm thinking, or what we've talked about with Russ and I before we got on here, is that Labor Day's over, and now it's like, okay, guys, it's time to get our house on the market before the snow flies, and get that thing ready to rock and roll before holiday season. So it's still a great time to buy. A lot of people right now are starting to put the brakes on things. Oh, it's going into fall. We've talked about interest rates, all that good stuff. It's get the house now. I think last week we talked really more in depth on it, so we don't go in too much into that. But let's take a look at the 30,000 foot view. So obviously those numbers ticked up. So we saw those numbers jump in our active listings in the Omaha and Lincoln MLS at 2,724. So we were about 2,600 last week. So obviously that 100 new inventory jumped up. Homes in Douglas Sarpy County, basically at 1,561. Our number of existing homes that are out there, that jumped up. So that's where the number came on. Our new construction homes stayed about the same. So we gained more inventory in that existing category than we did in that new construction. But we are seeing a lot of building permits getting pulled, because basically you're getting a lot of builders starting to put foundations in now so that they can get those homes ready for the spring. So you see that number will probably start ticking up here as we get closer, to the end of this year. You'll see those houses that are ready So maybe you can get selections made and things of that sort. So our months of inventory, we're getting closer to that more neutral of a market. So 1 to 3 is your seller's market, 3 to 6 is your neutral market, and then 6 and above is basically where you're at your buyer's market. So we haven't seen one of those for a while. Like I said, when I first got my real estate license, we were basically at about 9 months supply of inventory. So we're down to 2.6. So like I said, kind of summarizing what's going on, I see we're getting a lot of people coming in, after Labor Day, getting the houses on the market before the snow flies. That way they can find a house, get into, that seller can get into their next house potentially before, holidays and all that good stuff. We see this very, very common historically going through that aspect of it. But, I still think some people are looking at those interest rates going, oh, why, maybe I should wait for the rates to come down. Well, prices in our supply, we're still having that supply demand conundrum there, that we're not seeing a whole lot of supply coming on. I know 100 houses seems like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, when you're 750,000 people in the Omaha metro area, and surrounding communities and things of that sort, 100 houses is going to go pretty quick, especially if rates do drop, you're going to see a flood of people coming in. And like I said, people, when I was showing you those home buyer and seller packets, is that people are going to wait till the spring, and everyone else is going to wait till the spring, and if rates do drop, those people that waited the spring are going to be there. And then you're going to get those people like, oh, hey, rates are good, maybe we should buy a house, that we're never even thinking about buying a house at this time, right now, all of a sudden jump in the market. Now you got twofold the amount of people that are going to be jumping in the market, on top of your typical people. So anyways, that's kind of my synopsis on it. I hope that makes sense to everybody, but love to chat with you. Like I said, we have those checklists in there. Like I said, I teach CE classes, continuing education classes, to all the other real estate agents for 3 hours on one checklist. And it's just a double-sided page. So a lot of information in there that we can really go in depth on. If you have questions on it, I'm happy to help you. So let's jump in with Russ here with Williams Mortgage and kind of see what's going on the mortgage side of it. So how are we doing, Russ?
Doing pretty well, Mark. Rates have stayed relatively steady over the last week, and we expect they'll probably tread in this range for a while until we have some economic data that would move them one way or the other. Inflation numbers came in not too far off of where we thought they would come in this morning, and that basically kicks the can down the road for a few more weeks in all likelihood. Now, certainly, if we have the pandemic, spike up or other sorts of things, those are wild cards that none of us can predict. But strictly based upon technical data, we'll be in this range for a little bit. And for some of you that aren't liking these rates, I don't like them either. But you may or may not be aware that you can get lower rates by paying an extra fee up front. They call it a discount point. Basically works like a sliding scale. Your interest rate and your cash to close can move based upon where you want to be. So, for example, the more that you would put towards those fees, those discount points, the lower that you can get your rate to be. And I've seen some folks get rates down 1.5% below where the market is right now by using points. Certainly, it makes sense to look at long term. What impact is this going to have, paying these fees up front? But I can just about guarantee you, just almost, that buying a house in today's market, even if you decide to pay points, the cost of those points is going to be far less than the appreciation you're likely going to gain over the next 6 to 12 months as home values continue to show some good strength. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We're happy to help. Yeah,
awesome. Yeah, so try to keep it short and sweet today. So appreciate everyone jumping on and giving us a listen. If you have any questions, comments, our numbers are right here, 672-7670. or Russ 290-8936, or jump on any of our social media. I know we launched this video, goes simultaneously live to all of the YouTubes and Twitter, and I guess now it's X, I guess I probably should get with the times here. So, but anyways, yeah, if you have any questions, comments, give us a holler. Happy to help you. And have a great rest of the week and enjoy the nice weather out there. It's supposed to be pretty nice this week. So take care, and we'll talk to you soon.